The woman's husband had been dead for 3 years. Every time matchmakers came to propose marriage, her brother-in-law would rush out to stop them, firmly opposing her remarrying. The woman thought he was resenting her remarrying on behalf of his deceased brother. But one day, she accidentally overheard her mother-in-law and brother-in-law talking, only to realize that the person who died 3 years ago was actually her husband's twin brother. Her husband had impersonated his brother, only because his sister-in-law was too fragile to bear the shock. The husband planned to get his sister-in-law pregnant as soon as possible, believing that with a child, she would find new hope in life. But upon hearing this, the woman felt as if struck by lightning. Barely holding back her tears, she ran to the yard. At that moment, the village matchmaker arrived on behalf of the factory owner to propose. The woman had refused 7 times before, but this time she readily agreed. Half a month later, she went to the island to marry the factory owner. That evening, while packing her luggage in her room, a sudden scream came from next door. When the woman rushed to the door, she saw her husband carrying his disheveled sister-in-law and running out. The woman followed them to the hospital. The doctor informed the man that his sister-in-law was pregnant. However, she now suffered severe anemia and needed an immediate blood transfusion. But her husband's blood type didn't match, so he turned to the woman. To repay her husband for saving her life years ago, the woman agreed without hesitation. The next day, her husband and sister-in-law invited her to a meal. The woman accidentally ate sesame, triggering a severe allergic reaction. On the verge of suffocation, her sister-in-law suddenly clutched her stomach in pain. Once again, her husband abandoned her. When she opened her eyes, she was already in the hospital. By then, the woman was utterly broken. After being discharged, her husband saw her pale face and suddenly felt guilty. The next day, he bought her brown sugar as compensation. Before she could refuse, her sister-in-law burst into the room. It turned out her embezzlement had been discovered, and law enforcement officers were coming to arrest her. To save his sister-in-law, the man framed the woman for the crime. She never imagined her husband would sacrifice her as a scapegoat. Before she could explain, the officers swarmed in and took her away. She was sent directly for labor reform. But on her second day at the factory, the building suddenly collapsed. Unable to dodge in time, she was buried beneath the rubble. In her daze, she thought she saw her husband's figure.